Hi everyone, I'm Maegan Lemp, and this is Quick Conversations on Wellness. This is a project to explore the idea that we don't all experience and think about wellness in the same way. And today I am so pleased to be joined by my friend, Mike Knoll. Hi, Mike.
Hey there.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for being with us. Can you tell us a little about yourself?
Yeah, I live with my partner in St. Louis, Missouri, and we have a great life here, and are busy raising our pug and our French bulldog, and but primarily I work as a real estate agent. I've been doing that for 20 years now, and I also really enjoy doing renovation projects. So I've done, my own homes that I've renovated, and also done, kind of like what people would call a flip. So just buying a house that needs work, fixing it up, and selling it. So that's kind of primarily what I spend my days doing, and I do some work as in property management for some buildings that I have. So all those things keep me pretty busy.
Yeah, I bet. Can you share with us how you experience wellness and you think about wellness, both through a larger lens, also, and how that impacts your daily life?
Yeah, well, it's been interesting kind of being an entrepreneur of sorts. I found out years ago that, being an entrepreneur, to be really successful, or just, to be happy doing it, also, it kind of becomes, you have to go into personal development, and you really have to look at yourself and how you make decisions, and kind of what things you're intimidated by or are scared of doing, and really look at those things. And so, years ago, I worked with a coach, and a real estate coach, and she, was really good about opening me up to, just a variety of different things, not just business topics, but, spiritual things also. So, what I found is like one of the books that really I've connected with is A Course in Miracles. And A Course in Miracles talks about how there's really only two emotions. There's fear and love. And so we look at our daily lives, and anxiety and stress and worry and all that kind of would fall into the fear category. And I mean, all anyone has to do is a quick Google search to see how things like stress and worry, the impact they have on the body and and your physical wellness. So it only makes sense that, when we aren't operating in that way, and we're more on the love side of the coin, which is, happiness, contentment, and joy, our lives are just going to be a different experience. So, when I look at wellness overall in a broad category, it's like, okay, how much of my time am I operating on the love side of the coin? And it's like, do I love where I live? Do I love what I do each day? Do I love how I spend my time? And the more I kind of focus in on that, it's really interesting because things really do start to change. And I, there's parts of my work as a real estate agent, for example, that I battled with for a long time and really struggled with, and clients that seemed demanding, or the kind of the nightmare client that we talk about a lot in the field. And so, but I realized, if I was having that experience, it was probably because there were aspects of what I was doing that I didn't really care for, I didn't like, and I was really resisting. So as I've kind of made this transition into, okay, how do I just fully love what I'm doing? And then when I look at those things, it just completely transforms the experience.
Yeah. Wow, so well put. Thank you so much. I love what you say about um, observing our life, taking the time to observe and witness what we're experiencing and do a little inventory and see actually how we are feeling. Because I think we all have a little bit more time than normal right now. And typically when we're busy, I think it's easy to distract, right? And just keep doing our to-do lists and not really pause and look at our lives. And I love that you're bringing awareness to that.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that as a practice, and also what other tools that you employ on a day-to-day basis when you feel off or you feel like you need to recalibrate and connect with yourself again?
Yeah, well, I think primarily when I look at my day, I try to look at, okay, what am I going to do that day, or what do I feel like I have to do on any given day? And I'm looking for kind of what inspires me on that given day. And I think it changes a lot from one day to the next. I mean, you can feel real inspired to work in the yard one day, but the next day it might feel like a burden. So, I try to only do those things when I feel inspired to do them. I mean, years ago, I heard somebody say that, inspiration comes from within, and it gives us that drive to do things that we want to do. Whereas like motivation is this external force that kind of propels us to do things that we don't want to do. So I just look at my day and say, okay, how am I staying in that place of inspiration? And you mentioned a to-do list. I mean, I think it's a great example. I mean, you can write everything down that you have to do on a given day, and things that you don't think you're ever going to feel inspired to do, once you kind of give them that space to wait until you do feel inspired to do, it'll come around. I mean, even things as crazy as working on your taxes, I just sort of write that down. Okay, when I feel inspired to do it, I'll do it. And it always seems to work out. And when I wait for that inspiration, it just works out better. So everything that you do during the day is actually you're gonna be in the flow or in the zone more when you're tapping into those activities at the right time, versus forcing yourself to do things that you don't want to do just because you feel like you have to get them done.
Yes. Yeah. So much of what you just said is so applicable, I think, for us now and always,
Yeah,
because there's always so much on our to-do list and so many stimuli coming at us that are unpredictable. Um, so thank you for sharing some tools, and
yeah,
thanks for
absolutely.
joining us today.
Yeah, it's great to be here.